So it's a couple of years ago during the pandemic, and from the outside it looked like a normal day. I went through the motions. I talked to my parents. I did my homework. I even played a few video games. But then I go inside my washroom, and so the mask fades away. I watch the emotion and the soul leave my eyes, and all I see is apathy. I don't want to continue being here. I don't want to continue living. So what I do is I take a hand towel, I wrap it around my neck, and I start squeezing it. It's obvious at this point that I needed help, but I wasn't getting it. Not because I didn't have friends. I had lovely friends that were extremely understanding. Not because my parents didn't support me, because my parents, even though they weren't up to date on the latest information about depression, they loved me and they cared for me. I wasn't getting the support I needed because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed about what I was going through and some of the things that I felt. And looking back then, I realized that these weren't things that I should have been embarrassed about. These are normal things that a lot of people go through, but they don't talk about it a lot. And so I know even if you guys haven't suffered from depression, according to a study by Mayo Clinic Health Systems, 45% of the people in college have suffered or are suffering from depression. So even if it's not you, it's a friend, it's a teacher, it's even a study buddy.
Yep. Teacher.
And I'm no psychiatrist, I'm not taking classes, but I've been through the depression. I've been through all the counseling, I've been through the doctor visits. And I felt the pain and challenge, and I hope that even at least a little bit, I can help you guys feel a little bit less pain and challenge. And that's why today I'm going to talk about some lesser known aspects of depression and that people go through. The loss of hygiene, the constant suicidal ideation, and the most confusingly, the comfort that people feel when depressed. First of all, and the most obvious from the outside, is the loss of hygiene. It could be stopping, not showering, it could be not changing your clothes, it could be not brushing your teeth, or it could just be not changing your sheets. And that happens not because we stop caring, right? I remember vividly constantly worrying about how I smell, what my clothes smelled like, what my teeth looked like. It's not because they stopped caring. It's because it's tiring, right? Because I remember when I was depressed, it wasn't get up and brush my teeth. It was get out of bed, open the door, go to the washroom, put toothpaste on the toothbrush, and I had to stand there for 2 whole minutes and brush my teeth. That was a lot for me back then. But I didn't want to say that because I don't want to tell my friends, right, that, oh, hey, I haven't been brushing my teeth lately. That feels weird to say. And I remember I had a friend who, we are still friends, and this is the type of relationship that we had at the time. She didn't know. She went up to me, sniffed me, and said, "You smell." And like, we're still friends, and that was the type of relationship we had. But that was something that I went through because I was embarrassed. The second thing is the constant suicidal ideation. Now, people know, right? People know that when depressed, people commit suicide, right? But even a guy with a good family, good health, works out a lot, eats good food, and does all the things that you're supposed to do, the next day he could commit suicide. And that's because it's not just the big things, it's the small things that add up constantly and constantly and constantly. I remember this was like, must have been 2 semesters ago, 3 semesters ago. It was in the middle of the night and I was sobbing with a belt around my neck because I couldn't put on the pads for my headphones. It was something that small as not being able to. But that moment, all of the things that I had felt came crashing into that one moment, and all the incompetency and all the hatred that I felt for myself came crashing just because of that one small thing. But I'm not gonna go out and tell my friend, hey, this happened because I couldn't put my headphones on correctly. Nobody's gonna take that seriously, right? And that's embarrassing to say, right? But it's a thing that happens, and it's a thing that people are uncomfortable talking about. The third thing, and the thing I think is the most confusing, is the comfort, right? It's okay. To help you understand, think of it as a person in a cave, in a deep, dark cave, right? No light, nothing, right? And they eat, they sleep, they do everything in that cave, right? And then eventually someone comes along and tries to help them go out of that cave. And they go along with them because they hear about how good the outside of that cave is. And they start walking out of that cave. But then they see the light, they see the sun. And when you've been in the dark long enough, the light hurts, right? And so I remember that the thing that I was scared of, these new things I've never felt before. I've never felt excited for the future. I've never felt optimistic. I've never really, truly been afraid to fail. No, I have, but I've never truly been proud of what I've done. And then I start feeling those things, and they're unnatural, and they're different, and you feel afraid. So you start wanting to go back into your shell, back into that cave, because it's dark, but you're used to it, you know it. And so that's what happened, and you start regressing. But you don't want to tell anyone because it's not just you that was been affected by depression, right? Your family members see you going constantly hurting, constantly trying to fight to be better. And you don't want to tell them that maybe it wasn't worth it, that maybe you feel like going back was good. Because they fought with you. They felt the pain that you felt, and going back feels like a betrayal. But it's a thing that people feel, and it's a thing that needs to be talked about. Earlier in my story, I ended off there. And I wish I could say that there was some fairy tale ending, that a family member called out my name, or that I got a text on my phone that reminded me of one of my friends. But no, I looked around my bathroom, and I was trying to find something to tie off the towel to, and I couldn't find one. So eventually, I just gave up. And maybe if my bathroom was designed differently, or maybe if I was a bit more determined, I wouldn't be here today. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But all I know is that if I wasn't embarrassed, if I was willing to talk about the things that people haven't talked about a lot, I never would have been in that place in the first place. And so, even if after today, you go home, you go to sleep, and you forget everything that I said, just remember to talk to someone about something that you felt, even if it's a bit embarrassing, even if it's a bit weird, because you deserve to be understood and you deserve to be heard. You all do.